Well, I found this picture, Barbara did, found it later on, and I knew it was me. It doesn't show in that picture, but because it was my coat, she said. And this is our classroom. You know, the kids are sitting on those chairs, and well, one of my students, it doesn't show there, but it was Kenneth. He was an artist, so he drew this picture of, he saw beauty even in camp, and he drew it in color, which doesn't show there. There's sun coming up and mountains in the background, and then my mother was a poet, so she wrote poetry, haiku, and you can't see it there, but, and I didn't know she could do, she did all this, but my father kept her haiku, and I sent the haiku to my friend in Japan, and he translated for them. Driven away from here to there, again we are to be thrown out of this temporary lodging. And I didn't know she was doing all this. Well, she spoke Japanese and I didn't speak too much, so we had trouble communicating all these thoughts of hers. A little child who has come to say goodbye for their move. Just keep smiling. I feel so lonely. This is what my mother wrote. The war doesn't cease yet. 2 years have passed being confined. Looking at our miserable camp, standing on this boundless wilderness, tears gather in my eyes. I wish I spoke Japanese better. She could have shared some of this. Half a year I have lived here, yet I haven't become friendly with the natives. It means the people that we were living here together. How lonely. I found this picture later on. That's my mother and myself as I looked when I was in college. There's my father. I used to think he was so handsome, with his necktie and white shirt and a suit. Well, in one of the homes there was the letter written by this military son who wrote to his folks, and this must have been a Christian family because there's a picture of Christ in the background. Well, that's one of the homes, the kind of homes we came from. 3-bedroom house in Berkeley. I knew that family. So we came from that kind of home to the barracks. And when the men volunteered to go to Europe, they fought harder than anybody else. Their other Caucasian friends, and more people, Nisei young men, died because they were fighting for their country and for themselves. I think the first funeral they had, somebody took a picture, and here it is, everybody dressed in black and folding chairs. That's Eisenhower congratulating a Nisei young man. Look at all the honors he has. I don't know if he was a sergeant or what. There's a Harry Truman saluting the guys. Those are Nisei on the left, Nisei and Sansei. There's an officer giving the mother the flag. Each family got one when their son passed away and was killed. Reagan, President Reagan. He's signing what, Barbara? He's signing I forgot.
Probably the original agreement to make an apology.
There's Patsy Mink from Hawaii, and Senator Inoue, and Matsunaga. We never thought they'd be in, we went out to visit later on the internment camp that we were in Utah. See the buses in the back? They loaded us up on the bus and we came out to see the place where we had been interned in the middle of the desert. That's much later. We came to... They bought, the townspeople bought some of the barracks we lived in, and they bought them for $1 a piece and then fixed them up. That was in Utah, I think in Delta. So we went to see what they looked like when they were all fixed up. See, and that became a church, one of the barracks. See, Russell and I went back to see what the site looked like. So I guess he took a picture of me there, standing in the middle of the desert. There's a sign saying where the barrack, one of the barracks was the one we went to. Must have been hot. I took off my jacket. There's Russell, Barbara's dad, looking for I don't know, rocks. I'm looking for things like trilobites or whatever. We could find plates, broken plates or something. Look how dried and cracked the area was. Yeah. That's where a barrack was once. The foundation is there. Oh, that's where the hospital was. My father was in the hospital for a couple of years, and the doctor, who wasn't he wasn't very well trained, the administrator of the hospital, and he said my father had tuberculosis and he was going to die. Well, that doctor really was not administrator or a well-trained physician. My father didn't die. He lived for decades afterwards, and the x-rays really wasn't read properly by this young administrator physician. Yeah, we went back later to see the site, and the woman on the right, she was in my class in Tanforan. I've met her since. I think she lives in Klamath Falls now. Ah, and I met another one of my students there at a reunion, and he was the son of a minister, and I'll tell you, he was a lot of problems in class. And he was so funny, and I remember one time he put his hand under his nose, a finger under his nose, and said, "I'm Hitler, Heil Hitler," right in the middle of class. And I had told the kids that when they entered the classroom, they had to take their hats off and put them away. Well, he never did, this young minister's son. So one time, this was not very nice, but I took it. I took the hat from him. He couldn't take it home. He said, "That's all right, my mom will make me another one." There's another one that's the one that drew the picture, Ken Kaji of the barrack, and I met him there. I wouldn't have recognized any of them, but we all had name cards. And then, just to let people know who were watching this, that it was the end. Thank you. I don't know why I drew that funny picture on the lower right.